games, they need to make the game chippy.
I've already said
They
that.
need to make it chippy.
I agree.
They need to make it ugly. Okay, you said it,
I
but
was
yes,
with that,
I was
with the
about to
fake
bring that
out
point
of the
up.
call, the fake
Yes,
out
the
call.
fake technical foul.
I don't know what happened with
which
that. That was
was
terrible. That was awful.
That just brought me back to last year's finals when Draymond got suspended.
I was actually
brought me
pretty
back.
sure that Draymond should have gotten both technicals, but
Exactly.
because I mean, if you really look at it, he elbowed Iman right in the face and then was complaining about it. So I mean, I thought when they said on camera that it was Draymond's foul, I was like, okay, for sure, that makes sense.
Right.
But then they just immediately, right when that second one happened, they just were confused. Like, they literally had no idea what was going on.
That was one of the worst officiating games
that was awful. Well,
I've ever.
as a whole, I don't know if the game was that one part was pretty bad. And there were some other bad calls.
The Warriors were getting no calls.
Yeah, but the Cavs were getting no calls in Oakland.
Yeah, that's true.
So now
That's
it's even per se, and even in Game 3, the Cavs weren't even getting tons of generous calls.
I thought it was pretty even in Game 3. First of all, the Cavs should have won Game 3.
The one
refs or not.
Yeah, that was a bad game by them. But the one thing I won't forget is Mark Jackson on air saying selective officiating during Game 2. He said selective officiating. That's as bad as it gets. When the on air announcers are calling stuff like that. That's terrible. Like, the refs need to do better, clearly, but
yes.
Either way, Game 3 should have been the Cavs game. I don't really... There's a whole plethora of things that happened, but I don't know what specifically to pin it on. There were so many things that went...
to get into the
There were so many things wrong with that. We have a bunch of games to cover, because we did not do a podcast after the other ones.
That Game 3 debacle, I cannot
That was a pretty bad showing by the whole Cavs team in that last game. That was a bad performance by all of them.
I can't wait to get into that.
That's going to be a good one. I don't know, though. I still feel like they should have had that game. There was no reason for them to lose.
There was no reason for them to lose, true.
There was no reason, but what are you going to do with the Warriors? I mean...
So, who's the best player in the league now?
I still think it's LeBron. I think if you put KD on the Warriors, I mean, obviously his numbers are going to look like that.
On the Cavs?
It would be... On the Cavs, I think he would probably be playing... In terms of points, I think he might be scoring as much.
Okay.
He might be. But I don't think he's averaging, 8 and 8. Like the way he is right now.
That's true because the floor does space out for KD because they obviously have Steph Curry.
Also, with the flow of that offense, I mean...
That's a credit to the coach. That's a credit to the coaching, though.
Steve Kerr?
Yeah, that's a credit to
I don't know. I feel like Steve Kerr doesn't really have to do too much. I mean, I feel like he really just sub guys, but like...
He implemented the system, though. He could have.
But Mike Brown was running an equally efficient offense.
But he could have been a hard butt. You know what I'm saying? He could have been like, "Yo, run my offense this way."
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
he had to implement that system.
For me, it's still not too hard to coach a game with those 4 players.
I mean, of course not.
Even Draymond, who's not really a scorer in my eyes,
but he's
still contributes. Yeah, he still contributes in a bunch of ways.
Exactly.
So for me, it's not terribly hard to tell him to go out and do this and that because he already knows what he has to do.
That's true.
And especially with the Cavs, he knows what he wants to do. He knows what he can do. So it's like.
And then you have to give credit to their front office too for drafting Draymond Green, who multiple teams, including my Celtics, passed
a lot of people passed on.
A lot of rest in peace to Fat Melo. Fat Melo got picked 1 pick before him. But
he was a quality player for a little while.
Yeah, he was.
So I can't blame them for taking him.
I guess, but Draymond made every All-American team.
Well, I mean, it was hard to see his potential because he's not like a flashy player.
Yeah, he was undersized. I could always see his potential.
I think the best way to summarize his draft experience would be to compare it to this year, because now you have all these glossy scorer guys. You have Markelle Fultz, Lonzo, who people are touting him as potentially the next Magic in terms of flashiness.
I think Jason Kidd, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, but either way, you have a ton of these guys who are gonna potentially put up crazy stats offensively and look good on highlight films. But then you've probably got a couple fighters who are down low, like Draymond was, and they were passed up on. All these scorers are going to be drafted before them. But Draymond, what he brings to the table that those guys didn't bring was clearly just hard.
The intangibles.
And just intensity. As much as I dislike Draymond personally, you can't deny what he does for the basketball team.
That's true.
I'm not sure if I'm in the position to say that he could bring that same kind of ability. I don't think he could really make another team that good, but I do think that he could raise the level of another team's play. If you put him on the Milwaukee Bucks or something, I feel like that makes a difference in a lot of those young players. And Draymond's young himself, but if you install that heart in that team, I feel like something could happen.
He's a 4-year player or 3-year player at Michigan State.
That's a
by
quality.
Tom Izzo, been to multiple Final
Quality school,
Fours.
quality coach.
Exactly.
He's got the pedigree, so
Exactly.
I mean, there's no reason. It's just the fact that he's not a big scorer. People are not big on people who can't just drop a bucket from anywhere on the court anymore.
Yeah.
But the kind of style that Draymond plays is very underrated. It's like a Dennis Rodman type.
You
honestly.
need him on your team if you're gonna win the championship. You need a Draymond on your team.
He's like a
if you're
Dennis
gonna win the
Rodman type.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
the kind of guy who will
Exactly.
fight for anyone on the team for sure.
Exactly.
He can do a lot of things even if he's not scoring.
He's like a Bill Laimbeer, somebody who you want to have in your corner.
And that
but
a
you
lot
don't
more
wanna
people
play.
hated. I think a lot more people hated Bill Laimbeer
Yeah,
than they hated Draymond.
Bill Laimbeer is a dirty player.
He was
a dirty.
That was a whole
All
nother-
respect to Bill Laimbeer, but he was a dirty.
That was an entirely different era too. They got a lot.
Yeah.
They got
Oh,
all those
yeah.
guys got away with a lot.
Oh,
more.
yeah.
Karl Malone was a vicious guy. He elbowed a ton of people. You know.
Yeah, of course.
For his-
Jordan wasn't the cleanest player in the world.
He had to. He had no choice when he was
That's
going in the
true.
paint. He was getting punched in the face by
Yeah,
Laimbeer himself.
the
So
bad boy Pistons. And,
that was an interesting era to. I didn't live for that, unfortunately. I wish I would have seen that when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But you can just tell from all these 30 for 30s and these highlight tapes that they put out, like
Exactly.
these guys were brutal. So I mean, I could see Draymond prospering in a league like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
At the same time, it's not like that anymore, and people get called for like breathing on each other nowadays. It seems
That's
like.
true. That's
so
true.
he has to kind of rein it in. And last night we saw what could have been his undoing, because that's what happened last time. He went too far and got the technicals, got ejected, even with that, he came back and he played better than any other Warrior in Game 7 last year. He had the best.
Oh yeah, he had like 38,
He dropped-
12,
And
like
he
10.
he was like 6 for 8 from the 3.
Yeah, he was balling.
He was playing phenomenal basketball.
Draymond was balling.
That being said, LeBron still dropped 41 that game, which is something
Kyrie
that
dropped 40.
Kyrie
right?
also
Yes.
dropped 40.
Mm-hmm.
So people forget that even with the excuse of, well, Draymond got ejected, there was a whole Game 7 that they could have won.
Yeah, that's true, but he never should have been ejected for Game 5 when LeBron was
With-
literally walking over. Like, come on,
Well,
man.
with the literal rule book in place, he had to get, like, just because of what the rules are, he had to get ejected. I mean, do I think that the calls were a little iffy on both of them? Yeah, because Draymond was also jawing at LeBron equally, and
Yeah, that's true.
he was physically on him for most of the game as well.
But if another man walks over you and puts his genitals in your face, you're not gonna be like, "Yo, man, get up off me."
You could ask Tyronn Lue about that, because he wasn't.
Yeah,
He wasn't too big on telling
Yeah,
AI to
that's
get off
true.
him after that.
That's
so
true.
There's a whole.
Tyronn Lue and Draymond Green are two totally different people.
No doubt.
Two totally
No
different
doubt.
people.
But I still think that they could have won Game 7, especially if Draymond
yeah.
played that well.
Steph Curry also you have to look at in Game 7.
Steph
He
Curry
did not
just
play
vanished,
good.
and a lot of people bring up injury in that case.
Yeah,
I think
guess.
most of these guys are injured. Most.
Right.
If
right,
you look
exactly.
I mean, I don't really bring it up that often when I defend LeBron, but the guy's played more minutes than most players by the 14th year of his career, and you could see that in the games earlier in this series. He's kind of gassed.
Yeah.
But
he did rest in the regular season.
He did rest
for
in
the
the regular
finals,
season.
so I don't really want to hear that.
he did.
rested.
But if you still add up the total minutes he's played, just because of
he
all the
played
playoff
most
runs
minutes,
throughout
of
his career,
of course.
I've heard a lot of people make the argument like, oh, if I were LeBron, I would rather like lose in the first round than lose in the finals all those times. And I mean, I don't want to lose in the first round if I'm anyone. I want to go to the finals all the time. But when
of course.
But when it comes to minutes played, it's kind of hard to kind of save yourself if you're going to the finals 7 years in a row, and then all of a sudden you're back again, and now you're facing, in my opinion, the greatest team ever assembled, and he played 46 minutes in Game 3.
Yeah,
And I think he played 46 minutes again last night.
They can't sit.
So
They can't sit if they want to win.
I've been seeing that all over my Twitter timeline. Like the Cavs are gonna have to play in 48 minutes if
Yeah.
they want to win. So they got to do what they got to do. But at the same time, like you want to run the risk of if they somehow bring the series past 5 games, you don't want to have your guys getting winded.
That's true.
So
I mean,
especially in Oracle, you don't want to go into an Oracle arena with a tired squad.
But LeBron can't sit. LeBron and Kyrie.
Oh,
well, Kyrie can sit maybe, but LeBron can't sit.
LeBron
That's
definitely
clear.
can't.
He's got to play 46.
I think
minutes.
Kevin Love shouldn't sit. Interestingly enough, I think he needs to be able to get into a rhythm. Like last night, he got into a rhythm. He was on the court for a while.
Yeah.
So I think when they take him out and they take him out of that rhythm and he comes back on the court and he's fresh legs, but nonetheless he's out of the sync with the rest of the offense. I think that's a problem for him, especially with Draymond defending him, which is already Kevin Love's kryptonite.
Well, what they need to do is they need to put him on the block. They don't need to have him out on the break. Okay, he could shoot the 3.
Mm-hmm.
No,
but you
as
don't
we
want
saw
that every
last
possession.
night. Exactly.
You don't want that every
They need to put him on the block and tell him to go to work on Draymond, because we keep talking about Draymond. We bring up Draymond. We bring up Draymond. Draymond is undersized.
And Kevin Love can draw the fouls on him. We saw
exactly.
that. Kevin Love can draw the fouls on him, and
exactly.
that seems to be the key to getting Draymond out of the game. If you get him, he had 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had 3 in the first quarter. I think he ended up like 5 for the game.
And I think his presence was pretty anemic for the rest of the game after those fouls.
Because he had to sit.
He wasn't scoring a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he attacks the rim, not too often, but he
played defense.
He did play quality defense. Even with the fouls, I think he managed to avoid. He avoided getting the last one.
That's true.
So he didn't foul out. I salute his effort on that. But it's still a difficult thing to do when you've got 3 in the first quarter and you're defending a guy who's bigger than you.
Yeah.
And when Kevin Love is on, he can score from most places. Mm-hmm. So that's a difficult guy to defend, even if you are Draymond Green.
But I think the real hero of Game 4 was Kyrie.
And he finally showed up consistently.
Is figuring out that Klay Thompson cannot
not at all
guard him.
I know it was all summarized in that one play in the beginning of the fourth where he just took it up the left side.
Yeah.
He didn't even do a fancy move. He just crossed to the left side and just ran right past him. Yeah. And he just got an easy layup.
He's starting to figure out.
And Klay's not even a bad defender.
Klay is a top 5 defender.
Klay's a very good defender.
Klay is a great defender.
But he's just not quick enough for Kyrie, I don't think.
Kyrie cannot be stopped. I think in Game 1 and Game 2 he kind of.
But it's also easier to defend him when he's not making threes, which was the case earlier in the series.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of lay off on the. You know he's going to shoot the shot eventually, but you can give him more room to shoot if he's 0 for 7 on the night than if. He come into Game 4 when he made like 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was on fire.
They all came out crazy. I mean, JR was making threes from the logo, from the corner, from anywhere he wanted to shoot.
That was crazy.
That was a huge thing for them. So I mean, but either way, I think Kyrie. It's going to be hard to continue 40-point performances, but he did it last year. So
of course,
who's to say that he doesn't come back right now in the Oracle and shut those fans up for a night? So
he's very well capable of doing it, and we've seen him do it plenty of times, so you just have to wait and be patient. And in Game 1 and Game 2, I feel like they were trying to use the pick and roll with him too much, trying to switch him on to Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
I think they just need to clear out. They just need to clear the side out for him and just be like, listen, you're an all-star, you're a top 10 player in the league, get me a bucket. That's what needs to happen.
And you could still put him in pick and roll when he's playing well.
Yeah,
so
of course, exactly.
Like last night, you could have had him in the pick and roll, and he would have still probably dropped 40 points.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like he was thinking too much. He's like, oh, I got Klay can guard me. I have to get the switch. Mm-hmm. No, Klay can't guard you. You go on the left or the right side you choose, and you go get me a bucket.
And the scary part is when he starts to be able to pass. I think when Kyrie's passing gets better, because there's, I think
he's only 25.
Exactly, and you could argue that. Once in the paint, there are not 2 dominant players on the same level as LeBron and Kyrie.
In terms of the finishing.
In terms of finishing ability and ability to pass, the combination of those 2 in the paint is scarier than most guys in the league. And there are a couple duos that can get close, but I think if you combine LeBron's ability to pass and score, and you can Kyrie's layup package is probably the best in the league.
Yeah,
and that's a terrible sight for any defense.
What's also very underrated is his mid-range game too. The ability to, like Mark Jackson said, to stop on a dime and give him 9 cents change and get to your spot and knock it down.
And he did that to Klay a bunch of times.
Yeah, exactly.
He just pulled up right off the dribble, right outside the key, and just was knocking shots down.
Knock it down right from mid-range.
And they need that because right now, I mean, you need to perform historically on offense to beat them. So there's no way.
That's what I'm about saying. You need that.
You need a historic performance.
Yeah.
Because it's a historic team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna look at this and see how we went. We also didn't even have the mic on. I just realized.
Oh, you didn't have the mic on?